Good morning, everyone.
Hi, Jinping.
Yeah, welcome to the Entrepreneurship Impact again. So today, I'd like to introduce one of young entrepreneurs, who just started and wanted always. So from what I know about her, she has been wanted to be an entrepreneurship quite a while. And what I know about her is, she is a life coach, and also other than working full time, she also spends her other time on working on her own blog and things like experience what she wanted to plan in the future. So why not we hear about her story today? Welcome, Yuting. So maybe you
Hello,
can
hi everyone. I'm Yuting. Okay. So this is my first time doing a Zoom, being the guest speaker in Zoom, so it's quite exciting. Okay, don't know what to expect, so I'll just share what comes to my mind. Thanks for joining and supporting this platform. Okay, so for me, right, currently I'm taking actually a 1 year sabbatical of work. So in the past, I have a full-time job lah. But then right now, I actually take a 1 year paid sabbatical to actually figure life out. Because after working for a while, I started to realize, okay, so what is the bigger purpose of it all? What am I doing all this for? Because I realized that even after if one day I were to leave my company, whatever that I've worked for me the past 5 years, the past 10 years, whatever will just be who's a company and who I am as a person. There's no personal branding, and there will not be any additional skill sets. There will be some additional skill sets, but there isn't something that I can really call my own. So I thought, why not I take this time off to really figure out my life and see whether there's anything more that I can do. So for me, I have always been like a truth seeker. So I'm always passionate about learning new things, about growing, about discovering what's more to life. So nothing brings me more fulfillment than having those aha moments to make me realize, why didn't I think of that before? Or learning something new and make me feel like, oh wow, that's really interesting. So I think this is what keep me going and keep me always wanting to learn new things, make me really very passionate about life, learning and meeting different people, interesting people, and hearing their stories and getting inspired. So I guess maybe that's why you're here today as well, to really, it's all a sharing platform where we learn, we share from each other's experiences, and maybe whatever I share maybe spark something in you also, and make you want to go further in your entrepreneurship journey or your journey of self-discovery. Yeah, so this is a little about me.
Yeah, thanks. So basically, it's kind of aligned. That's why we invited you here. Is wanted to inspire people and also see how we can learn from you. So and also encourage people to join the journey together. So far,
yeah, thanks for inviting me.
Sorry.
Thanks for inviting me here.
So far, how has your journey been so far? Like I know you've been like managing your blog and also doing something else. Yeah.
Okay. For me, all along, I would say have been a very good student. Those very quiet, those study very hard, very studious. So, I do all the right things that I'm supposed to do. So, I get good grades, I go to good schools, I get good results, kind of thing. So I did that because I thought that was the way to go. I was a bit lost when I was young, in a way that I didn't know what I really wanted. But because society tells us or tell me that, okay, you need to study hard now, you need to get good grades so that you can do whatever you want in the future, so you'll be successful. So I just did that. It was only until I graduated, about when I was about 23, and I had good results, I had all the required qualifications, I had good resume and everything. And then at that point I was stuck. I was like, okay, now I have all the required things, and where do I go next? How can I transit into my first career? Because I think that going to the right job is very important, because the first job is what's going to start you off. Yeah, at that time I was really confused because I didn't know what I want. Because I was so used to people telling me what to do, what I'm supposed to do, what I'm supposed to do. Then suddenly there's I'm supposed to make a decision of what I have to start, what I have to work as, and I had no idea. So it was a period of a lot of uncertainty, and that's when I started to search deeper, look deeper really for answers. I started to ask myself, what is the meaning of it, or what do I really want out of life? And I came to the realization that, okay, I like to help people, and I like to talk to people, and I like to have a lot of like freedom of my time, like I want to work wherever I want. And then so I thought, okay, why not I can be a life coach? So the idea just popped into my mind, okay, I want to be a life coach. But I didn't know how to get there, and my qualifications all seemed irrelevant. So it ended up with me joining a life coaching organization as a marketing exec, because I couldn't really be a life coach yet. So I had to like really learn the ropes, so shadow, at the same time train to be one. So that's where my journey started. And from that point onwards, I also started to realize, okay, if I really want to be a coach, I need to first work on myself. I need to really know myself well first before I can really help someone. And so who will listen to someone who's like 23, who haven't got anything figured out but just want to help people? Also doesn't really work. So then, since then, I have been like really doing a lot of like personal self work. So it's really the journey within to really uncover what has been stopping me, what is my blocks, what are my fears, what is it I really want. So I wouldn't say the journey has been easy, because a lot of times there's a lot of like things like self-sabotage machines where I stop myself from doing what I really want to do, or I become fearful. I start to doubt myself. Also, a lot of things start to come up. Yeah, so I have tried a lot of different things in this journey to really uncover what I really want, like go for different retreats, like meditation retreat. I thought that if you meditate for a long time, you may just get answer, the realization. So I went for a 10 days retreat where I just keep quiet and then cut off from society, cut off from the world, no mobile phones, nothing. And I just thought that I would just meditate, and then somehow the answer will come. But unfortunately, at the end of 10 days, I was like, can talk already. I was thinking for the aha moment, but it didn't come. So I was still as lost as ever. But the thing is, like, I gained other things along the way. I started to realize different things about how we are all, we are all particles vibrating in a place, and we are not really like we are like not really solid per se, things like that, like more of like focusing on sensations. So it was a different kind of realizations, but I didn't get what I really wanted, which was like sharing. Yeah, so it took some time lah.
Okay. Wow, so yeah, like what you say, like everyone, most of the people is just like get a good grade, get a good job. This is just what we assume life as normal. So so what get you out of it is just like you feel lost and want to get out of the norm and started to explore around. So yeah, you mentioned this has not been easy for you so far. Like, so what keeps you motivated all the while? Like keep trying different things, try to experience different things.
What keeps me motivated?
Yeah.
I think at different points in my journey, different things keep me motivated. So initially, it could be a bit of like compensation, in a way that I want to do it. I want to help people because I feel that I'm not good enough, so I need to really prove myself to the world. I need to like add value. So that was like coming from a different place. But now with all the work I've done, so it's been about 7 years, and I've been still on the journey. But along the way, I get bored, I get distracted, I lose focus. But right now, what my motivation is really to really see the world as a better place. Like imagine a world where you wake up, everyone is like happy, excited, everyone is joyful, blissful, at peace. Right now, when you walk out in the streets, everyone is like, a lot of people are very tense, they're always like frowning, they have a lot of tension, and they're not really very happy. But then like life has so much to offer, it's so exciting, and a lot of people don't really see that because they're all so stuck up in our own boxes and our own shell. So how do we step out of it? So I really, what motivates me is a world that is like that. Envision a world that is like that, like the John Lennon's, is it John Lennon's song? Yeah, the Imagine.
Yeah.
Imagine there's no hunger, there's no like a beautiful world. Yeah, so that's my ideal vision. But I really want to work together with everyone to make this a reality. Bring more like love, bring more light to this world. Yeah. So I mean, it's a journey, but it's quite it keeps me going because I mean there's nothing more fulfilling than knowing that we can really touch someone else's life in a positive way.
Okay. Oh, that's great. Yeah. So like is there any end goal in mind you have, like maybe like 5 to 10 years down the road, like what is like what practical or any things you would like to achieve? Like earlier on, you also mentioned about some maybe like personal branding. Is it something along this line or?
End goal, end goal for myself, my life.
Yeah.
If it's like 5 to 10 years old, where I want to imagine myself is maybe living in a really countryside, with like nature, farming my own vegetable, with living animals, just living a very, very simple life, or just cutting away from civilization. Just like, go back to nature, back to the wild kind of thing. Because right now with internet, everything is so convenient. You can still communicate with people, still share, and still really support people. But in terms of the kind of lifestyle I want, it's really a slower pace of life. And like really connecting with people on a more genuine level instead of everyone just being so caught up with like work, caught up with the treadmill of life, caught up with chasing the next thing. So it's about how can I really just be in the present moment and enjoy and savor every moment that is. Because like that's the only moment we have. So we are here to really enjoy life and live life to our fullest. That's what I want to do.
It sounds like a retirement plan. It's like,
yeah, retire earlier lah. Then that's where you really start living lah. Wait until like so old and start living.
Yeah, so how's your plan so far? Like, you've been building out your personal branding and like what's your plan on moving forward? Like what will you do and how would you kind of develop what you want to do? Yeah.
Okay. So in the past I used to be someone that always try to plan everything. Like I'll be like, okay, where do I want to be 5 years from now? Where do I want to be 10 years from now? Then I'll plan my daily schedule. I'll have like this time to this time what I'll do, and I'll have a checklist and things like that. But I realized that a lot of times it don't really go according to what I planned, and things will start to come out. There'll be different ideas that come out, and then you meet interesting people. Then you start to have different projects coming. So what I came to realize that maybe I don't really need to have a specific plan, but what I really need to do is to trust the process and allow things to unfold in its own timing. So I can have a big goal and what I want to achieve. Like I want to see a beautiful world where everyone is happy and joyful and peaceful. And every day I know that I'm doing tiny steps. As long as I don't stop, I just keep doing incremental steps to the direction. And at the same time also to constantly remember to listen to my heart. Because a lot of times in the past I was so afraid of listening to my heart. Because it's like the heart sometimes is very irrational. Your mind may say, okay, this is the right way to go because you know it will be safe. But the heart will be like, why not I do this? Why not I fly to here and go and learn this thing? Why not I just take 6 months off and travel the world? Your heart may want to do that, but your mind will be, I know it's not practical, you can't do that. What will happen? You'll let kind of peers and things like that. So a lot of times I end up following my mind instead of my heart. So what I'm learning to do and I'm trying to do every day is to really tune into my heart more and to ensure that, okay, I let my heart guide the way and then do what feels right in the moment. Yeah, so step by step, I will let the thing unfold and eventually whatever I'm here to manifest will come true. But it's not like, okay, because sometimes it's hard to see the end point when it's a long way, you can't really see the end point from the start. So it's about trusting the process, and that's what I'm learning. So allowing things to unfold. So my plan is to trust my heart and make sure that my mind will support my heart and align all my heart and mind together. Yeah.
So not too pressurized about yourself in terms of like all this. You always stuck in your mind about achievement.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So a lot of times because I'll end up being like, oh, I need to do this, I should do it, I should be doing this now, I should be doing that now, I cannot be slacking, so I'll feel guilty for slacking, I'll feel guilty if I'm not doing anything. But then I realized actually sometimes what you need to do is just to do nothing. You just need to step back, do nothing, and just be in that space. And then suddenly you get new inspiration coming. So it's about how we can slow down, take a deep breath, and then do nothing. It's tougher than you think.
How relaxed and good.
Yeah, because sometimes it's about surrendering to the process.
So is there any experience that you would like to share to us? It's like, earlier on you mentioned about fulfillment, or what have you done before that you feel good about yourself, or any things that you help people that you feel about that sense of fulfillment that you are looking for?
Yeah, I guess there are different instances where I have felt that sense of fulfillment, and it usually comes about when I follow my heart. Like, because sometimes, so there was one time I was involved in this like initiative called Talking to Strangers. So we just go to the streets and talk to random people. And there was this, I was talking to this domestic helper at the airport. So she was at the airport, and I was just sitting there, just like looking into space. I thought, why not let me talk to her? And I went up to approach her and talk to her for a while. And then I realized that she actually missed her flight. And she looked at the timing wrongly and she missed her flight and she didn't know what to do. She was at a loss because she saved for like few months to buy the air ticket, and now she missed the flight. She can't go anywhere. And then like she was looking forward to attend her daughter's graduation, and it has been like several years since she went back. Yeah, so she said that she don't want to go and everything. So at that moment, like I felt so I felt so I could feel how she was feeling, and I thought, okay, why not let me just give her some money to really support her, to maybe she can buy a ticket or something. So I told her to, okay, wait, let me just go and take some money out and pass you. And that's what I did. And when I passed it to her, she was like, I think she just burst out crying, and she was just like in tears, and then just like saying thank you so much, and she was just like feeling like a lot of like gratitude, because I imagine like because she don't really earn much a month, and then to her it's really a lot, but to me it's still okay, it's not as bad. Yeah, so that moment it really like shocked me that actually every one of us right now, small ways we can actually contribute. We don't need to wait until we are super rich, we are there or whatever, to really start to give that act of kindness. At every moment in our life when we interact with someone, it's an opportunity for us to be kind to the person and make someone's day, because we realize that a lot of times, many of us, everyone has their own stories, everyone is like having their battles to fight. So if we can just bring a smile to that person's face, then why not? So for me, I try to make it a point to, when I talk to someone, make sure that they leave happier than when, or leave happier or more energized than when before coming to talk to me. Yeah, so that's a small way that I can contribute. Yeah, so that brings me to
Yeah, so that's the little things, the efforts that can contribute to people. Okay. Yeah. So far you've been experienced and explore a lot of things. Like is there any what would you be what's your lesson learned, like or any shortcuts, to let people know like what, like how can you like live happier, or and also like try to let yourself like just don't get easily caught out and in this world and civilization is this so far.
Okay, that's a good question. So I guess for me, what's a lesson I've learned is really to keep an open mind and an open heart, and that's really very important, because a lot of times we do not know what we do not know. So if we were to close our minds and close our hearts too early on, we may miss out on a lot of opportunities. So what I would say is to really question everything, and like what Steve Jobs likes to say, stay hungry, stay foolish, and don't make any assumptions, because what we think we know may not be what really is the fact, and what we think that what we have been taught may not be true. Just because a lot of people is doing it, just because a lot of people think that this is the right way, doesn't mean that it's really the right way. So the best way for us to really realize something for ourselves is to really go with our experience. So just because someone say, okay, this is good, we don't think it is good, we have to really try it out, experience it, then we know for ourselves that it is good. So that is very, very important, especially in today's society when there's so many deceptions around, so many illusions. All the different establishments, institutions are trying to vie for our attention, and everyone has their own agenda. So we really need to be very discerning in what we accept into our minds and what we believe. So the best way is to don't believe anything, be skeptical, at the same time just learn through your experience. But at the same time, that doesn't mean you have to close your mind. You can still be open your mind, but then just don't believe it outright. Try it out for yourself, experience for yourself before you say that, okay, this is the truth. If not, we may end up going down the wrong rabbit hole, or we may end up getting stuck somewhere which may not be our main objective. So it's to keep an open mind, open heart, and open eyes so that we can remain clear. So is it very long already, or can I elaborate more?
Yeah, sure. Of course.
Okay, so for example, simple analogy is like we always think that okay, to be happy, is to really do what society tells us to do. Okay, we have to really go through the getting good grades, and then you find a partner, then you get married, you get a house, a family, and then you retire, then you live happily ever after. But then again, this is the narrative that society tells us, but is it really true? Could it be that that is happiness is more than really achieving all this external success? And that's the thing we have to ask ourselves. So when I dug deeper and try to find out what is happiness, so my parents always tell me, oh, you need to be happy and healthy. What is the most important? To be happy, to be healthy. And for me, it's like, okay, yeah, I agree. I was like, how can I be happy? How can I be healthy? The how part is always thing. It's easy to just think, okay, I'm happy. That doesn't mean that you're really happy. Right? You can just cycle yourself being happy. That it may not really be true, but what is really that sense of happiness? And that's when I also went on a journey to find out. And I realized that actually happiness is a deeper dimension. And a lot of times we realize that happiness is within us, and we always seek externally, try to travel the world, try to look for happiness in this, look for happiness in this new thing, this buying that thing, things like that, from other people. But actually, when we come to realize, actually happiness is something that's always been there inside us. We just have to really dig deeper to uncover that wealth of happiness and that sense of fulfillment, a sense of pleasantness, the peace, the joy. Yeah, so that kind of that would be more long lasting than what the stimulus we get from outside.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, really, everyone is looking for happiness, and actually, happiness is just within ourselves.
Yeah, I just need to realize it, and then we have to go through the journey to actually uncover it, because it's not an easy journey. Yeah, you have to face it, because a lot of times, right, when we talk about all the things that is like personal improvement, motivation, spiritual stuff, you'll be thinking, I love and light, we want to spread joy to the world, and spread happiness, love, like. But the thing is, you realize that in order to spread all this, you need to go through the darkness, because with there's light, there's no darkness. But a lot of us, we don't want to face our darkness. We don't want all the negative stuff we push aside. Then we say, okay, I'm happy. Then when you feel sad, say, no, it's wrong to feel sad. It's wrong to feel sad. I don't want to feel sad. So we push away the darkness. But if you really want to really become whole, we need to embrace ourselves, go up our darkness and the light. It's easier to embrace the light, but when it comes to darkness, that's when most of us are in denial and we run away from it. So myself included, I run away from darkness for a long time, because I feel that I'm not strong enough to handle darkness. It's too scared, so I just run. But then ultimately, if you really want to become whole, you have to face the darkness. Only when you clear all the shit, then in the darkness side, then you can really be light naturally. Yeah.
So, for someone who is lost, like what would be their first step, they can seek out of answer, or, like first step that they can walk out to the darkness? What would you advise them?
It's in first step. Keep an open mind, and then really try. For me, myself, I was more of like groping in the dark. So I knew that there's something more. I want to really find out more. But at the same time, I'm like don't know where to start. So whatever thing that came across my path, I just jump into it. I just try. Sometimes I get some knocks here, some knocks there, some bruises here, some detour here. But ultimately, I still managed to gain more clarity lah. Yeah. So there isn't a really very prescriptive path, because everyone's journey is very different. It's about how we trust the process. But I guess it will start with first doing some personal reflection, going within, and maybe take some time every day to just do some simple meditation. 5 to 10 minutes is good, and start to observe yourself, observe your thoughts. Because a lot of times when you get so caught up in the world, you start to identify your body, you start to identify your mind. But you have to realize that actually who we are is not our body, and we are not our minds, but we are maybe consciousness, we are observer that's observing all this that is happening. So, but then to realize that we're an observer, we have to really observe first. So a good place to start the practice would be meditation. And an app that I can recommend would be the Insight Timer. The Insight Timer is quite a useful app that allows you to time your meditation practices, and then it also has a lot of different guided meditations that you can look into to start off the journey. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Insight Timer is one of the apps that you can recommend people to try meditation.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Insight, INSIGHT, Insight Timer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you mentioned it's to experience because different people have different paths, and the main key thing is even though it's to experience and also explore, and even though it's failed, but it's okay, but it's still a journey that you have learned so far.
Yeah, most important thing is don't stop, don't give up. Even if you fall down, you must bounce back out and try again, because one day you'll reach it. Yeah.
Okay.
So just keep going and keep trusting. Because even though like everyone will think that you're crazy, or everyone will start to think that like why are you so obsessed? Like you need to remember what's your end goal and just keep going.
Okay. Yeah, so the last question I have for you is more like, what would be your encourage words for people that, who fail, or, who have difficulty to explore all this, to start their journey so far?
What will I encourage them?
Yeah.
I think just believe in yourself, trust your heart, and there's no right or wrong. Actually, ultimately, it's the experience. So you just have to ask yourself, you have one life. What experience what do you want to experience? Do you want to experience just working in a job every day, like typical at 9 to 5, counting down to lunch, counting down to going home? Or you want to experience something more, experience traveling the world, experience interacting with people, experience doing things that sets your heart on fire. So ask yourself what you have to experience, and ultimately there's no right or wrong answer to this. It's just we all have the free will, we all have the choice to make what do we want for our life. If my life was I think someone once told me, like, if your life is like a story, your life is like a story, and then like if I were to hand you the pen, how would you want to write that story? So now you have the pen in your hand. So it's up to you for you. Because ultimately we all know that we come with nothing and we'll go with nothing. And it's during this process, this journey of life that we just want to live to the fullest, to enjoy it. I guess that's what matters the most.
Okay, thank you. So it's to create our life, with no fear, and also believe in ourselves.
To trust your heart, and then fear is like, it's just a sign that you're going in the right direction, because you're actually stepping out of the comfort zone. And when you know that you feel a bit of fear, you know that okay, if I keep going, once I break through that, I'll achieve a new breakthrough and I'll become a bigger person.
Okay, thank you. So now I would like to open the questions, to the ground. Like, is there anyone who would like to ask Yuting for some, suggest advice, or any question you have for her?
I have a question. Hi, Yuting. My name is Jason.
Hi, Jason.
What puts you away your self-doubt before starting your journey as a life coach?
What
keeps you away from self-doubt?
Okay, that's a good question. Because I think for me, I face with a lot of self-doubt. All along, I'm always questioning myself. So I'll always be like, okay, I want to do this. I'm like, no, not. So I have this habit in the past of like, I'll make a decision. Now, after at last minute, I'll change it. Like, shit, maybe it's the wrong decision. I'll change it. Then I'll change it back. Then I'll keep changing my decision. Because I have a lot of self-doubt. And the thing is I think self-doubt will be there. The first step is first being aware that I have this doubt about myself. And the second is to understand, where is this coming from? Where is this self-doubt coming from? And why do I feel this way? Why do I feel that I'm not good? So a lot of times for me, I realized that my self-doubt came from the fact that I feel that I'm not good enough. I feel that I don't know all the answers. Someone else knows better than me. So in a way, I gave my power away to someone else. I feel that okay, they know better, and I do not know whether I'm doing is right or wrong. I keep judging myself also. I'll be like, am I right? Am I right or wrong? Is this the right thing to do? And give my power away. And then after that, over time, once I identify it, at least like when I do something, I know that okay, I want to do this. My self doubt is there, but because I know that okay, this self doubt comes from this place of me thinking I'm not good enough. But at the same time, I know that actually that's not true. I'm good enough. I'm what I am. Who I am right now is what I ever need, and I have all I need with me. And start to change my belief system. I start to override whatever self doubt there is, and then I make a conscious decision to okay, despite the self doubt, I'll still do. Despite this, I'll still do. So, for example, even like sharing, coming here to share, I also feel like, hey, am I good enough? Like, am I really qualified to share? You know, I haven't really succeeded, like have a successful business in entrepreneurship, and am I the right person to share? But in the end, I just okay, I'll put it aside, and then I'll just okay, see what happens, just share. Then what can go wrong? Like ultimately, it's just an experience. Yeah. So learning to do it, it becomes a habit. Every time you learn to put yourself outside, just do it, and then you start to gain more and more momentum, more and more courage to continue. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. So, how far this life coach has changed the way you think like previously and right now you are as a life coach? What makes you change? What's the impact? I mean, the result, the end result.
Oh, okay. I guess like for me, right, before I come in touch with life coaching, I've always been someone who's very curious to learn things. So I'm always into those like self-improvement books and like learning how to like think and grow rich, how to win friends and influence people, you know, 7 habits of highly effective people, that kind of books. Wow, I always all read all this one because I feel that okay, I need to really improve myself, personal improvement. So I thought I know everything and like don't need a life coach because why I know myself already. Why would I need someone? But then like because I wanted to be a life coach and I thought okay maybe I need to experience what life coaching is like. So I just went to do got coached myself. And during that time it made me realize I have a lot of blind spots, a lot of things that I didn't even know that was there that was impacting how I am today. So it was a very interesting journey where I realized that a huge part of who we are today is actually formed when we are 10 years and below. So all our childhood traumas that happen, not really trauma, like childhood bad experiences will actually shape who we are today and shape our mindset. And it runs us subconsciously or unconsciously. We don't even know that it is driving us, but it's actually driving us. So when we go through the coaching experience, we start to dig out all these roots. Because, for example, things like our self-doubt, our fear, our kind of habits that we have. Actually, these are just symptoms. And where's the root, where's the cause, what's the source? That's when it'll be useful to go through some coaching to dig, to find the source. And once you identify the root and dig it out, and then the symptom will naturally disappear. So you don't have to be like try to cover the symptoms like motivation to be like, okay, I must be confident, don't need, because you just dig, you uncover the thing and naturally you become confident.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So am I right to say that it's more conscious and also like what you are doing, and also rather than you think that you are confident in yourself, all this after you experience some coaching?
Yeah, it's just about conscious effort to go inward. A lot of times when we are affected by what other people say, affected by like we don't like this person, we feel triggered by this person. Actually everything ultimately our whole experience of the world is actually found in because of ourselves, and that's why we feel these things. So as long as we keep going inward, we start to realize things, we start to change, and then surprisingly the world around us start to change as well. So we don't even need to try to change people, we just change and then people around us change. So it's a more straightforward way because we can control ourselves, but we cannot control someone else.
Okay. Any questions from other people?
I have a questions. Okay. So example, as entrepreneurs, we are talking about value creations. Okay. So I learn a lot from you lah. A lot of values from you. So among all these values, right? Correct. So which values do you think example, when the entrepreneurs start their entrepreneurship, okay, they also very lost one. Okay, most of them they are very, very lost. So they thought that they want this, they thought that they are good in this, but at the end of the day they cannot really succeed. No, so what advice do you think, based on what you understand now, because I think you do a lot of soul searching and all these things, Yeah. So with this, right, correct, the experiences you gain from this, right, correct. So how can you advise the new entrepreneurs?
Mm,
Value creation, like finding themselves. How do they find themselves? You know, a lot of people are lost. You know.
hmm. Yeah, ultimately you have to start with the big why as well. Like, you want to do entrepreneurship, you know, what is the business you're creating? What is the purpose of it? It may not be so motivating if it's just to earn money. You have to find a deeper value behind it. And maybe you have to do something with it. How can we make the world a better place? How can we add more value to the world? It has to be something that is value adding to society in general. So we need to start with asking, okay, what motivates me to start the business? And then we have to also first understand ourselves, and that's where we start to ask ourselves, okay, what motivates me, what drives me, how can I keep going, and to have faith in the process. So the thing is about constantly checking in with ourselves to ensure that, okay, we are still in the right track. So sometimes if we don't take time to sharpen our saw, we may end up veering off course. So daily check-in or weekly check-in to make sure that, okay, we are still on track, we are still growing, I'm still on the right path. And then other than that, just to have faith in the process. Sometimes things may not manifest immediately. It takes maybe years. Like, so for example, for me, I wanted to be a life coach since 7 years ago. But until it took a long time, the journey to move for me until right now, where I start to gain more clarity on who I really am and what I really want. And then suddenly I see the light after so long. Even though like throughout the journey, I'll be like, hey, how come I'm still like feel that, you know, something's missing? I don't still feel a lot confident. I never stopped. I just kept going. So have faith in the process, and things will just unfold when the time is right. As long as you just put your heart into it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
Welcome.
Or we can sign up a session with you.
Yeah, can also. You can come. We can have a session one-on-one talk.
Correct. Thanks for sharing, Ting. Yeah, it was very insightful
Thanks.
on how you discover your journey. Yeah, and I think it was Vipassana that you went for the meditation.
Yes, Vipassana meditation. Have you been there as well?
No, my sister's been there, and it changed her for 2 weeks, and then she reverted back to her normal self.
Yeah. Sometimes that's interesting. It's really need to keep up the practice, like whatever we do. That's what for me. I'm also victim of that because there's a period of time I'm always chasing that spiritual high. I'm go for the retreat. Then after 1 week, come back. Wow, then on. Then I never keep up. Then I'll get drop back to square one. Then I'll go for the next thing. Then high for a while. Wow, never drop back. Yeah, so it's about consistency. Yeah. That's very important also. Consistency. Yeah, to really have faith and keep up the practice and be consistent. Or it's the daily steps that accumulate that works. Yeah, that adds up. Yeah.
Yeah, very true. Thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe we'll open the last questions from the ground.
Hello. Hi. Maybe I can ask a question.
Hi.
Yeah, Jin here. Just want to ask Jin a question about maybe you can share us more about procrastination and what are your thoughts to what can do about it? Yeah.
Procrastination. Okay, interesting topic. Yeah, because I think for me, I'm also very guilty of procrastination, of putting things off. Yeah, a lot of times it's me just. I find that when I start to think too much or overthink, that's when things go haywire. Like for example, if I want to wake up early at 6 a.m., then if the alarm goes off at 6 a.m. and I just wake up, don't think, right? Just wake up, then it's fine. But the moment I start to think, okay, maybe I'll sleep for 5 more minutes, and never mind, I'll sleep for a bit more, then a bit more. Then end up I wouldn't wake up. I'll wake up at like 9 p.m., 9 a.m. Then I'll feel very bad after that. So I think procrastination is really real thing. Yeah, so it's like, how do we overcome it? I guess it depends on what is it that we are procrastinating from? You know, like for example, for example for me, maybe I want to write a book, but I keep procrastinating, say, okay, maybe not today. Then the question becomes, do we really want it? Is it really something that you want it, or is it because you want to do it because someone tells you to do it? So we have to question ourselves and really dig deeper to examine the motivation behind why you want to even do it in the first place. And if we realize that actually I only want to do it because someone else asked me to do it, because society says that it's the right thing to do, then maybe it's not what I really want to do. Then we have to ask ourselves, why do I want to do this? Because life is so short. Every moment of our life, what we want to do is to make sure that we live it to the fullest, to make sure that whatever we do, it is something that we really believe in it for. We wouldn't want to waste our time doing things that actually we half-hearted, we don't really want to do. Yeah, so it's really about questioning what is that and what is behind this procrastination, what is the resistance. And if it's, so it can be different reasons. If maybe you really want to do it, but then you procrastinate, it could be because of self-doubt, or because you feel that maybe I'm not good enough to do it, or I feel that if I do it, maybe I'll get laughed at by people. So we have to first dig deeper to identify what's behind that procrastination, and then adjust it accordingly. Yeah. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I think it's a good start to get it on a different way. Thanks.
Welcome. Yeah. So just keep digging and just keep asking why. So like what is behind this procrastination? Then you can ask why is it why you're not good enough, and why do I feel I'm not good enough, and why. Also ask again 5 whys, keep going deeper and deeper and deeper, then you may identify like deeper cause behind that. So once all the resistance is clear, actually you'll just do it without any procrastination. If the why or the desire is strong.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, everything is, everything comes from ourselves, within ourselves, is like really questions what do we really want, and also to understand and more conscious about ourselves. Yeah. So thanks everyone. Come here. I hope everyone who get some insights and some encouragement from Yuting, and this is inspiring that it's really ignites the fire inside you. So y'all can reach out to us if you would like to connect to her, and also if you wanted to engage her coaching service, feel free to reach out to us, and also subscribe to our YouTube. We'll post this recording video on our YouTube and Facebook as well. Yeah, so stay tuned to our next week Saturday session. We'll be having a different speaker coming along. Okay, thank you everyone. Have a good Saturday ahead. Yeah, thanks. Bye.
Thank you all. Thanks for your time. Thanks for coming. Bye bye.